What's going on, everybody? Like self. The day is called Sunday, and this weekend was like a dream. Like every weekend, everything before us was like a dream. So I'm just thankful that I got clarity and a sense of who I am, where I come from, and all that. Just hanging out around with my cousins that are related to me by my grandmother, where I'm at right now. And seeing a different side of self. It's beautiful. They asked me what kind of religion I got. I said my religion is anyone like self. That's my religion. So they wonder what I do. I was seeing stuff that I do every day with them, and then like people are asking questions, and I'm like, man, you can talk to the head nigga you fuck with, and you get all the answers. Cause I'm like, if I was, they were like trying to figure me out and stuff, and then I was like, if I was anything fake, if I was anything, not real, the person that invited me over here would have been like, man, nigga, you lying. Something. And so every time someone asks me something, I'll be like, man, ask dude. And, dude will be like, because, dude ain't gonna lie for nobody. So I'm just grateful and thankful that all the small things that I ever did in life, wherever, looked at and remembered. And on top of that, like I said, I wouldn't even imagine, as much as I love this person as a kid when he was a kid, I wouldn't have imagined this person being that person that he is today. So what I consider solid. So anyway, this video today is for anyone like self that you're going through some traveling, and it gets hard sometimes traveling down this life, but you are here right now. Yesterday doesn't mean anything. It is erased. The memory is forever faded. And they used to say the thing about smoking weed causes you to be forgetful. Oh man, if you live this life, you'll understand that there are a lot of things at play, a lot of shit in the air each day. So psychologically, you must be mentally prepared, because psychological is a physical form that is mental. So I just want to tell anyone like so, no matter what life throws at you, just keep on walking. I work hard, I get ready to faint, I keep on going. It's just the way I look at things. You have to keep going. And I just am thankful that I got a different understanding and perspective. Because on my grandmother's side, my grandmother was telling me some stuff from my mom's side about how, things run rapid in our world. And I didn't even realize my grandmother was always protecting her fortress from those type of entities in this world. And then I told her, your life is no different from your sister's. And it literally isn't, because I got to see firsthand yesterday how like close, all of us are in many ways. And I lost cousins on my grandmother's side, cousins that are doing life on my grandmother's side, on my mom's side, and I realized that we come from a family that is tough. And at one point, my grandmother's side of the family was one of the toughest, and that's in our DNAs and our genes. It still is. The way we saw it is a lot different. I'm just humbled and I'm thankful to be able to see that, I used to watch a lot of kids. A lot of kids know me or remember me as a blessing and something to be humble about. And like I said, I was gone for like 5, 6 years, and I didn't get to see. Well, I lost sight of who I was in a degree. And it's good to see faces that that looked up to you and are like an expansion of who you were at one point in time. So it's kind of like good, and I'm grateful to see that. Also grateful, me and my grandmother had a conversation about this. So, even at her age, she can realize and see things that a lot of people are being docile to seeing, like the good in this versus smoking a cancer stick. Cannabis versus cancer. But my grandmother knows this. I get up and go to work every day. Every day I get up and go to work. I'm up right now because I'm waiting to work. Then I'm going to church. So I do it every day like it's nothing. My grandmother noticed that, okay, yesterday, I'm not going to show you the yard. Me and my cousin were mowing the yard. Like, he mowed my grandmother's side and I mowed my mom's side. The difference is, he was on a zero turn. I was on a push mow. On top of that, I had to lower the blade, or the wheels down with the blade down. So I had to lower that. And so it was a lot harder. I got done before him. He has a zero turn. Things happen in between there and there, so it's like the turtle and the rabbit race. And then on top of that, everybody kind of knew that there was some kind of competition going on. But it was more like man versus machine, and apparently I won. But it's just like one section of the day, and maybe like 20 things happen throughout the day, and so I believe in like hard work pays off. So anytime I do a lot of hard work, I know that whatever small goodness that happens, I appreciate it, or I notice it because I did a lot of hard work throughout the day. And so, and part of that was, seeing someone who works hard and dedicate themselves to something that I work hard and dedicate myself to. But I have to like put myself in a split mode and to be all over. And it was just like a real blessing to see someone on that same wavelength. And my family is someone that I watch and look out for my whole life. So their whole life. On top of that, my oldest son favors, one of my little cousins. My oldest son favors my cousin, one of my little cousins, and my brother. So it's like, I'm grateful that all the things that I saw and I thought of somehow played to be in my reality at this moment in time. But people, I'm up like all mornings of time, because I don't know, my grandfather's no longer here in the flesh, but I feel like, this is the only way I can like be with him, is by getting up early in the morning. Uh, if life is getting hard for you, go to work. It'll be easier when you start eliminating debt, until they start putting more problems in your life. I'm trying to eliminate debt, BS. Because I had this conversation with someone like self, and you know, all you have to do is reach inside the eye of someone and say, hey, I'm right with you. I've been wherever you've been. We had the same shit. We do the same shit. We are just alike. We ain't on that robbery shit. Like, I'm gonna treat you as real as you treat me. That's the type of shit we on. And that's the type of people I fuck with. I don't fuck with snakes. Snakes get that ass cut. Down with the grass. Anyway, like so. I'm not afraid of ego, and I'm not afraid of evil. I'm not afraid of anyone that's not like self. So, because everyone likes self is with self and not against self. So if you're against self, it's because you are against yourself. That's why you speak with hatred. But I love the hatred side. It brings awareness, and I want to get all the awareness out so we can clean house. So ain't no such thing as limitation. You know, there's no limit to what a man can achieve inside his own mind. Hear the sound of that? Natural music, the wind and the birds. Anyway, people, as always, I try to give a little advice. This is a new day and a new time, so the advice yesterday did not apply today. It applies, but it doesn't apply for today because today is a new challenge. And every day a company is getting on their feet to make sure they stay in line. So you must be your own company and your own keeper. Keep yourself in line. When you look in the mirror, you see the reflection of God. When you speak, you hear the voice of God. And so when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you from God. That's from the inner spirit. So everything that I do in my presence can be felt. It's crazy, your energy is just as potent and powerful as the moon and the sun in the sky. You want all the smoke? Well, Indians used to give out smoke signals. That's why they came out with anti-smoke signals, media smoke signals, um, political smoke signals. These are things to get your mind off the truth of nature. So, I listen to a brother that always does videos out in nature. I realized when I came back home that this is my park. This is my backyard. I go running, I go exercise, I let the bugs bite my ass. I work hard because it's my areas. I went all over trying to find an area. My grandfather already prepared an area for me. So I'm very wealthy. Ain't shit I don't have. So I just have to remember I wasn't raised off the dollar bill. I was raised off the field. So anyway, I know there's some people out there looking for me. Not in no bad way. Ain't nobody out here trying to hurt me. I'm trying to prevent myself from hurting other life form. Y'all don't know, y'all don't know. When my partner got killed, I went to court. I felt bad for everybody involved. These young boys, one had to spend his birthday in prison. and my guy shot him. But so it is what it is. You in that situation, but like I said, I feel bad for everybody involved. I did try doing my thing, like to be in the motivation, but when you have so much hostility and electricity that's building up, it it takes it takes something, and when something wasn't doesn't want to do right, it takes something. Like I've been trying to help cancers for the longest, but I can't interpret it because it's not allowing me to interpret the way I need it to. The guy that killed the Aquarius was cancer. Cancer and Aquarius don't get along, and so and then cancer passed away, which caused me to finally let go, break that bondage, go back. Two cancers. The guy that delivered my last two daughters, he was a cancer. He retired and then he died. He looks just like my pastor. My pastor is a cancer. So I pay attention to things that are not seen by the natural eye. But you have to understand we all are like a big GPS map. We're all over. And you can study the life forms like a DNA code sequence or like an office and a job. That's how I kind of view everything. It's a little bit all over the place. But I hang with a lot of Geminis too. Geminis, President's Gemini, Daniel Tosh, Gemini, Maxwell. So many Geminis. Tupac, Gemini. Prince, Gemini. Geminis come by and see me, and I'll be one Geminis in my life. My little brother is Gemini. Sabir Bay is Gemini. My twins, Gemini. My great grandmother, Gemini. My ex-boyfriend, husband, whatever he was, Gemini. So I know the Geminis in my life, and I know how they play, how they see things. I have a Gemini aspect. Whole point is we have to understand things that are like blind spots, and I'm trying to uncover those blind spots because there are people in this universe like self, and if anyone that is like self raises the bar, we all raise the bar. So understand, sometimes you gotta be grateful for the things that happen in your life. Even the bad. Because there have been some times when you get hit and you don't know how you carry on, but you're still alive today. You're still here, not in the casket, not in the hospital. So count your life lessons as a blessing today. So be grateful of your individuality. Some people do not like the fact that you exist, but you're telling the truth and showing you things that were not known or forgotten in the last 10, 20, 30, 40 to 100 years, to 200 years. There are things that we need to know in order to grow in all sides of the thing called dimensions, like 4, 5, 6 dimensions. There's an infinite amount of dimensions. And we are in the crossroad of all those dimensions. We are the physical and the metaphysical in between. It's like a skyline, a division. If you turn yourself sideways, you see a skyline division. So there's one, and then there's a line, and then there's two. So there's a metaphysical and there's a physical, and we are the energy in between. So it's like the Holy Trinity. So you have to learn that your identity is more than just your name. The soul is a lot bigger than just the one tree that you see aspect. Like the one thing you see sprouting out the ground aspect. Like tetrahydrocannabis, it's earth, wind, and fire. Create something Era is everything. It's all the same. All the zodiacs are all the same. If you're not aware, your head is Aries, your feet is Pisces. Do the math in between. It's 12, it's 33 parts of your spine. You have to know your chakras. Have to eat healthy, do better, and be wealthy. Treat yourself like you're a star player. A lot of us come from what I call backseat life. You got to be thankful for your seat in the back. You know, and the way time looks, it shows the progression of our going forward to the front like roses. And we go in a wave, and you got to be thankful for where you stand, your wave, and the way you think and the way you are, because it's only one you, and there's a lot of communities. And guess what? Your community will get its chance to stand on this platform the way it's supposed to be. And I try to motivate anyone like self to understand so we can all transform. I want us to be like that, you know, group of Power Rangers, and we all like put in um, our powers together. We become that Megazord. Now, in my belief, if you're gonna read the Bible, okay, you can understand the so-called God story of the Bible. But you gotta realize, I want to read some of the other shit, because you gotta read the Bible. Because I'm reading the Bible, like rereading it, and I want to understand what's going on in the mind of the so-called enemy. So, in order to do all that, you gotta like wake up from that. They don't understand, but I do. And when that energy comes, you gotta make sure you do it with finesse. Don't be mad because you didn't do it 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You gotta be thankful now, because you're gonna get your chance to fight. You're gonna get your chance to squad up. All you gotta do is be prepared when it comes. And I'm not trying to be unprepared when my blessings arrive. I'm trying to make sure that I'm all the way up. Then I would have made a mistake. I didn't know it then. I probably thought I was prepared. No, it's a lot of things you have to understand and be prepared for when you're destined for greatness. So let's build up self so we can be in our greatness.